So we said before we clicked record, we're both wrestling fans. I grew up in New Jersey. WWF, WWE was my show to watch. What's it like to find out you're going to main event SummerSlam? That's got to be like the coolest thing ever.
Oh yeah, it happened so quick that there wasn't a lot of time to like take it in. I was just like, this is so cool. And I was like looking at who we were wrestling. I was like, this is amazing because I can do awesome stuff with that guy, with that guy, with that guy. I was like, oh, I hope they let me do it. And that was my first real intro of I don't know what the term is here for it, but people call it politics, but like when certain things get shut down or taken out, or
Right.
you're not allowed to do certain things, or maybe do something that you're not accustomed to, that you have to insert into your character or repertoire or whatever it is.
Was that coming from the boys in the match, or was that coming from the office?
A little bit of both. It was coming from all directions, and there were so many people involved too that we kind of just hung back and we didn't really say anything. We were just like, okay, this is what we're gonna do. We're just gonna do what we're told.
Right. I mean, what are you going to do? You're in there with Bret Hart and Edge and John Cena and Chris Jericho. Yeah, that's a crew to be in there with, man.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
I guess I got to wrestle Shawn Michaels before. I got to wrestle Kurt Angle before. I got to do some cool things on a lower level. But you got to mark out when you hear just the guys you're going to be in the ring with for SummerSlam.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. And you know what? At that time, I was kind of like waning off because, at the time we were doing like 3, 4 road shows before TV. So, I got to work all those guys like dialing certain spots and sequences in during that. So it was all since day one, I had to, just work all the top guys.
Which one of those guys let you be Justin Gabriel? You know what I mean? Like, sure, you work with so and so, you have to have so and so's match. Who let you get your shit in? I guess I'll phrase it.
Um, Definitely Brett when he was there because like he knew Natty and TJ was there too, and they were like, "Yo, this is the guy." And I remember Matt Hardy too, like he was my coach, and he didn't know who he was, so he called a bunch of guys down there who he didn't know, and they're like, "Tell me about him." And when he met me too, he goes, "Yeah, all the guys I spoke to said you were like a young AJ Styles," and I was like, "Wow, I'll take that as a massive compliment, thanks."
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
I kind of work that style. I told him, but I don't know if you remember during that time, there were no chops, no like belly to back suplexes, nothing off the top rope, right? So I forgot who mentioned it, but they were like, "Hey, this guy's he uses the 450 as a finish, and there's no way he can use it on TV." And they were like, "Well, if you can do it safely." So they put a crash pad in the ring on different areas, and I can hit it perfect every time because I can hit it at any angle. It doesn't even matter where the guy is. And then I did like 3 or 4 times in a row. And then I was supposed to wrestle Regal that night. And he goes, okay, I'll let you hit that on me. And then when we did the Nexus invasion, uh, uh, a lot of those people obviously didn't see the stuff that we did. And it was actually Cena who was like, yo, he has to do that. Like somewhere in that beatdown, he has to do that. And that just became like the exclamation thing after the beatdowns. So I give him a lot of credit for that.
So wait, you weren't allowed? No one on the roster was allowed to go off the top rope?
No, anything unsafe, like no shooting stars, no 450s, no belly to backs because a lot of neck injuries at the time. Like, how it goes. It's like this. Like for one week they'll be like, oh, don't do super
Right.
Shawn Michaels thing now, or like, hey,
Right.
do this. And then during there were like 3 or 4 years, like you wouldn't see any like belly to backs or Germans or anything like that, and they wouldn't like not hardly anything off the top rope unless it was something simple or like one of the top guys.
Do you want to give any of your social media out?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Instagram is PJ450. I haven't been active there lately, but I mean, I do check the messages and stuff like that. And then Twitter, which is X now, Darewolf333.